During the regular season, the quarterback who gets practice time is the guy who is going to play that week.
Why would you want to get him ready for the game? I don't understand.
The guy who is going to play gets the practice time. The second teamer, usually you hear gets like no reps with the first team. So why would the third teamer? Okay? Now, there's that. Here's this, and I truly believe this. I hope that Shedeur becomes a stud quarterback in the NFL. I hope he does. If most of the NFL thought he was ready to do that, he wouldn't have been on the board in the 5th round. That's just a fact. Okay? Just, you can say all you want. The NFL drafts some guys and brings in players with backgrounds that you would think, ooh, you don't want to draft that guy. Well, so in other words, just because a guy might be a little brash, he drops to the 5th round? Nope, that doesn't happen. Guys drop to the 5th round because that's where the NFL thinks they have the talent to be drafted. That's what that's about. And I love the idea that the Browns are taking their time with him, maybe bringing him up to speed on some offensive stuff that he didn't see too much of in college, and maximizing his ability to succeed eventually. Man, could you imagine, Andy, if he becomes a really good quarterback? That'd be awesome. It would be awesome.
I wonder for the folks that want Shedeur out there right now, and he's not, like, Dan, in Green Bay, did you ever remember anybody yelling about, oh, how many reps is Brett Favre getting? How many reps is Aaron Rodgers getting? How many reps is Love getting with the second teamers? They kind of knew what was coming, and they knew they were going to replace him, and that's why, what did we say?
Rodgers sat for 3 years. Jordan Love sat for 3 years. But look what they ended up being. Jordan Love's pretty dang good, and Aaron Rodgers is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they don't worry about quarterbacks in Green Bay. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to get it right every time, but I imagine, what do you think Sports Talk Radio was in Green Bay when they were like, Aaron Rodgers got to get more reps?
No, it was pretty much what you're hearing right now.
Wasn't it more so?
Same as what
why did they draft Aaron Rodgers? Why did they draft Jordan Love?
Everybody wants the new shiny toy at all times. Everybody wants the new shiny thing. It was the same thing that happened when Rodgers was drafted. It was, Favre, he sucked. He's old. He's got gray hair and thumbs broken. It's all the same garbage.
I just hurt my hand playing hammer
and over and over. And it's the same thing with Jordan Love on top of it because Rodgers wasn't playing the best, and they kicked Rodgers in the ass, and all of a sudden he looked better. Like, this is the problem with all of this stuff. Like, it's the most frustrating thing that is taking place. It makes my head hurt.
Don't you think, guys? And correct me if you disagree with me.
How many reps is Malik Willis getting? Is he getting enough reps in practice?
They put in a whole new offense when Malik Willis walks onto the field. They run the triple option like it's a damn military school. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is not ready to start in the NFL. Done. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of quarterbacks who are like that.
Exactly.
We're in a big hurry to get these guys on the field.
Shedeur Sanders is not your firstborn child.
If they can bring him along and develop him and make him NFL ready and hopefully maximize his chances of being a great franchise quarterback, isn't ultimately that's what we want?
Right.
Isn't that what you want here?
Yeah, if he can be.
Patience is a hell of a thing.
I don't know. I'm just tired of the national media jumping on the clicks and saying that it's just like
Andy,
Schultz had to walk him out to the cooler. But that's all they're trying to do. Isn't that what it is? It's Schultz has to walk him out to the cooler because no one else in Stalag 13 is going to let him play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they make it sound like the Browns have this just this evil plan. Right. When maybe this they're plan actually has worked working for other teams before.
Exactly.
If they come out a year from, I'm sorry, Jeff, but if they come out a year from now and Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback the Browns have ever had, and somewhere along the line someone has the epiphany, wouldn't it be great to hear his dad go, you know what, maybe he wasn't ready when he got to the NFL. But the Browns, they let him work it in slow and they let him ramp it, just like Eric Wedge would say, they let him ramp it up, and now look at the quarterback he is, and now look at where the Browns are. I think the problem is that because he was a fifth-round pick, nobody wants to believe that could happen, but that is a scenario that's out there. Thank you. Sorry. I felt like I cut you off there. I felt bad.
That's all right.
Okay.
You were on a roll.
Thank you.
And I'll add this too to it.
I've got a diehard Shedeur friend. He says Green Bay had Hall of Fame quarterback both times ahead of the rookie. That's inconsequential here. What it is this.
They didn't know it at the time.
No, they knew they had a Hall of Fame quarterback in Brett Favre when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. And when they drafted Jordan Love, they knew they had a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers.
But you still have to go out there and execute to become a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No.
Oh, you're saying that already on the field.
What I'm saying is when they drafted Rodgers, you already knew Favre was a Hall of Famer. And when they drafted Jordan Love, you knew Aaron Rodgers was a Hall of Famer.
I got it. Okay.
It doesn't matter who's starting at quarterback if the guy isn't ready yet. And they want to develop him and maximize his opportunities to succeed. Shedeur fans, get that through your heads, please. They are trying to help this guy become a stud quarterback. They're not holding him back. They're doing just the opposite. They want him to be great.
They want him to go where you want him to go. You're literally pulling in the same direction.
Exactly.
And people don't.
People don't understand that. I mean, forgive me. I watched Deshaun Kaiser play at Notre Dame, and I thought, man, this guy's intriguing. I hope they could. Chris Villar was in your role at the time, Dano. When Kaiser dropped into that second round, Villar and I are texting back and forth because Chris liked him too. Hey, here's our chance to get our guy. The last thing they ever should have done was put him on the field because he wasn't ready.
His head coach said he was a franchise quarterback.
Right. And I'll forever wonder, gosh, I wish they'd given him a year or 3 to maybe learn more and come along because I thought Deshaun had some real gifts. I think Shedeur does too. Mm-hmm. Allow him to develop and maximize his opportunity to succeed, folks. That's what people aren't getting here. Dan, you just said it. The Browns want him to get to exactly where Shedeur fans want him to get to.
Right. You're all pulling in the same direction.
It's unbelievable.
You don't want to put him out there and have to hand him the brown pants. And you can piece together exactly what that means.
Wow.
You want him to be out there with a confidence and an understanding of what is coming, not to be overwhelmed and need to be wearing the brown pants.
You want him to succeed.
I don't think that kid is ever going to be in that spot. He is unbelievably confident in what he's doing. I understand what you're saying, I just don't agree. Confidence is the one thing that he's got. There's no, I'm not questioning anything else.
Not confidence, but
either that or it's bravado.
I want him to have
and there's
answers.
A difference.
I want him to be confident in what he can do, and I want him to have knowledge of answers. That's avoiding the brown pants.
All right.
We've talked all about this being a wait till next year in the draft thing.
I hate it, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, maybe I'm not.
What do you mean? You think you're wrong? You think this year? You think they're going to turn it around this year?
I didn't say that.
It smelled like it.
If you're wondering what I'm saying, you're going to want to listen next because there's some things happening with people looking at these college kids and thinking, we were just talking shock about quarterbacks in the Browns.
What?
And because of what's going on, Andy, we've been doing this quarterback thing where we're looking at the quarterbacks in college this year who could be the number 1 overall pick or could be a first-round pick who the Browns end up drafting. And guess what's happening as this season goes on?
Things aren't what they appeared to be at the beginning of the season?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
It's getting more convoluted, and it's a strange type of thing. Now let me throw this at you first. We've had this pool of guys that we've been looking at. Okay, at the beginning of the year, and I didn't just put the pool together just willy nilly. I paid attention to who all the people were, all the draft analysts and everybody else who they were talking about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll quickly give you some updates here on some of these guys that we've been talking about quite a bit. Let's see.
Oh, the marching band. Hi, guys. Come on in.
Welcome, everybody.
Ooh, look out for that trombone.
Appreciate that. The guy that I've really enjoyed watching when I look at video is
Julian saying, I knew you were going to say
Lenora Sellers of South Carolina. A bunch of teams didn't play this week. South Carolina was one of them. His last game out, they beat Kentucky, and he was pretty good. Okay, and he rushes the ball well. He throws it well. Garrett Nussmeier was also off from LSU, but they're coming off a loss at Mississippi, and he threw for a season-low 197 yards. Fernando Mendoza is this kid from Indiana who transferred in from Cal, and he looks kind of like he looks kind of like Will Howard to me, kind of a tall, big kid.
He's getting a lot of love.
Yeah, he didn't play last week. They were off. Their last game at Iowa, they came up with a win.
14th best QBR.
And he had 233 yards passing. There's a guy that wasn't on anybody's real radar at the beginning of the year as far as everybody talking about these first-round picks, and his name's Dante Moore. And he was Dylan Gabriel's backup last year at Oregon.
Yeah.
Well, he was off last week. He is coming off the win over Penn State in double overtime, where he completed a ton of passes, and on the season, 74% of his passes completed, 14 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So this guy's put himself on the radar. Arch Manning lost at Florida. Drew Aller lost at UCLA.
Yeah,
with Penn State.
I mean,
it's not on Drew.
Yeah, it's not on.
I know it's
their defense.
James Franklin, the defense, everything else. So all that's going on. But Penn State had a real easy early schedule, and now Penn State's lost 2 straight games. Unfortunately, Drew Aller's going to pay the price for some of that because they always point at the quarterback. I like Drew Aller. I hope he ends up here. I think it'd be great.
He's only thrown 2 interceptions all year.
Your guy, John Mateer from Oklahoma, broken bone in his right hand, but he's expected to come back, and he wants to play against Texas coming up in, the Red River game, I think they call it.
Red River Classic.
So that one's coming up.
Rivalry, not classic.
Yeah, it's the Red River rivalry. It used to be the Red River shootout.
Yeah, so that's coming up. Carson Beck at Miami keeps just kind of hanging around the top of this thing. He's coming off a win against Florida State. He was good. 20 of 27, 241, 4 touchdowns. So
Mario Cristobal can draw him up. That's for darn sure.
Your dude, Cade Klubnik, Dan, who you're not too crazy about anymore.
I was just going to say, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. Beat up North Carolina, and he was good. 22 of 24, 254, and 4 touchdowns. Making Bill Belichick go, where's the girlfriend?
More like Bill Belichick going, where's the media gig?
So, in other words, there are a bunch of these guys, Andy, that are floating around out there. And a website I like looking at is something called NFLDraftBuzz.com. And they put out updated rankings of guys. This is how they have them ranked right now at quarterback. You ready?
Okay.
The number 1 quarterback is Lenora Sellers in their estimation. And kind of boom, out of nowhere, Dante Moore is now number 2, the kid from Oregon. And Fernando Mendoza is number 3. So the guys that we had heard about earlier, John Mateer has moved up to number 4 on their listing. Nussmeier has dropped to 5. Arch Manning has dropped to 6. So this thing is so in flux that it makes me think this. Are they really going to take a quarterback next year? Are they?
I don't know.
Because
keep your eye out, though. The game of the week, then, if you want to look at it as far as quarterbacks are concerned, Oregon against Indiana this week. You've only got 3 teams in the Big Ten that are still undefeated. Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon. And, Oregon's number 3 this week going in. So, and Indiana's, they're like it's almost like I don't even know you anymore, Indiana. You actually have a football team.
Now, let me make you cringe. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at mock drafts already.
No.
And I just stop. Just stop. I do this because I like seeing what people are thinking at the time. Okay?
That's an answer to why.
Sports Illustrated has a mock draft out. Okay? The number 1 pick in Sports Illustrated's draft, number 1 overall, is Dante Moore, the quarterback from Oregon, going to the New York Jets.